Are you ready to step into the future? The future. Well, we're already here. Some people would say that I'm a little bit behind the times because hey, D&D Beyond. That's the topic tonight, and it's digital format. Like I was saying, a lot of people say that I'm might be a little bit behind the times because hey, how long has D&D Beyond been out? How long has how long have they been presenting stuff in a digital format? Good long time. But today, I'm joined with Bear, joined with Drac. Should be a very lively show. Um, I'm going to attempt to hold back a little bit because these guys are pretty outspoken, and I want to hear some of their words. I'm obviously going to interject with a lot of stuff, but we'll see what's going on. So, the overall topic, guys, D&D's digital future. I've been vocal on several of my videos, and across various platforms here and various other live streams, that I'm not a big fan of D&D Beyond's digital format. And what I mean by that is they want you to purchase it but not own it. It goes back to you'll own nothing and you'll love it. That whole mentality. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight. I'm very much for digital content in terms of like a PDF, something that I can download, something that I can print for my own personal use should I need to. But having to depend on logging into a web interface in order to have access to something that I purchased, that's what I'm not thrilled about. Yes, it's a discussion that's been had multiple times by multiple people in multiple places, but we're going to have it again tonight here on the channel. So, Bear,
Yeah.
what's your view here?
Well, I was unaware that we were being dragged into a World Economic Forum debate. I thought this was going to be about the merits of D&D Beyond, and I said I'm a supporter of D&D Beyond because I think it's a great tool if you're playing D&D in the modern age with their modern stuff and all their whiz-bang, gee-whiz, great. The kids are on their hula hoops drinking Zima. But if you're talking about the rent everything, own nothing, and be happy, no, well, sadly, now I'm with you on that. So now I'm no longer the contrapoint to you because you changed the godforsaken topic on me. Yeah.
Well, hey, I got to thank Doc Flamingo. You'll own nothing and pay a monthly subscription for it. You know what? It's just something I'm not thrilled with. I don't like the concept of it.
No one likes the concept of this. Even the people who thought they liked the concept of this do not like the concept of this. All those Generation Z kids who thought this was the skippity-dooest of all the things they could do are now moaning and crying because they can't buy a house.
Yeah.
And they're going, whoa, I wanted to buy a house. What's going on?
Yeah, but
a house.
You have too many subscription services.
No, it's just no one wants you to buy a house anymore, so they bought up all the houses, and now houses are subscription services. It's called rent.
Yeah, of course. Drac, what's your view on it?
I think it's great. They can take all our money, and we get nothing to show for it. I mean, come on now.
I mean, okay, that's a tough one to argue against. I mean, touche. I'll grant you that.
I love my books.
Yep.
I wouldn't know what you're talking about.
Right? Yeah, I was just going to say.
I'm a little jealous.
Yeah.
There's some titles in there I just don't have. But no, not having a physical copy just seems a little insane to me. I would really like it if they flipped it. You buy the book, you get your key code in the back.
Right.
And there's your online equivalent.
Yeah, there's another company out there that does that. So earlier today, and I'm gonna share this with everybody. Earlier today, I did a poll over on my YouTube channel, and I flat out asked, "Are you a fan of D&D Beyond's digital format?" Now, granted, 243 people voted. So, I mean, it's not a huge swath of the gaming community, but it's not a bad, size. 65% no. I mean, that's
fair, I voted yes just to see the results.
okay. So 66% said no. 1% lied about it. But it was some of the comments in here that I really wanted to look at. So, Dragon Master, I wish they would sell us PDFs. Other companies tried and found that it doesn't really reduce sales. In addition, I wish they were like Metaphys and would give you a free PDF if you bought a physical copy. Drac, that's exactly what you were just saying.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I am 100% behind that practice.
Yeah, now if Modifius could just get into the practice of making good games, they'd have the whole market cornered.
That's right. They would.
Hey.
A little marketing too, so we all know who they are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, I'll check it out. I will core rules and setting in paper, but quite happy with Beyond for other stuff. So I'll interpret that. I think they're saying that they like the core rules and the settings in physical form, but they're happy with D&D Beyond for the other stuff. And I would assume like that's for like character rolling, which I get. It is a nice system because it's really hard to. Okay, with the pencil and paper dice, it's really not that difficult actually. But with that's my preferred method. But I guess with D&D Beyond, you're not going to make a mistake because it's not going to let you put something in that you wouldn't be able to. For example, I'm going to roll up a cleric and give him fireball. Well, I can do that on paper. I mean, I can write that down on paper.
Well, when you make a light cleric, you can still get it.
I'm just saying, I'm assuming, just core stuff right out of the, core without subclasses or anything like that. Birdman, books, paper. Yeah. Peter Shriver don't like reading long portions of the books on D&D Beyond, though it's nice that I can access them anywhere I have internet instead of having to lug the books around. And I will say that is a nice thing if I wanted to carry my entire collection. I mean, Bear, if you wanted to carry every book that you have behind you in a backpack.
I put the cat on a sled.
Yeah. Put the cat on a sled and tote your books around versus throwing them all onto, this and carrying it with you. Yeah, I get that. My eyes are old. That's the one issue I have with it, with doing it that way. My eyes are old and I just can't see well enough to pinch. Otherwise, I would have to pinch zoom in on my screen. I like the ease of the character builder. Okay. Warhammer Codex books come sealed, have a code in the back to get the app version for free if you bought the physical book. Again, Drac, that's what you were referring to.
Yeah. I think that's the best thing.
Yeah. Let's see. D&D Beyond leaves much to be desired, but it's the only legal comprehensive 5e charge on an app. Well, now we've got stuff like Roll20 and there's a couple of others that have integrated 5th edition into it. So I'm not sure what they mean by that one. I like the convenience to look stuff up, but agree that enabling them to be PDFs would be better. It is difficult to look stuff up on D&D Beyond. I mean, let's take a look, for example. Let's look at, I don't know, this is the newest Dungeon Master's Guide, right? Well, actually, tell you what, let me jump back to Player's Handbook. We were talking about Fireball, so I'm just going to look up Fireball. So how would I go about finding Fireball in this book? I guess I go here to search everything. Fireball, right? And then I get 1, 2, all these different
but the
listings.
First one clearly said,
sure,
Player's
first
Handbook.
one, Player's Handbook. Okay, click in that. And that gives you the information. So, yeah, I mean, I have to concede that searching for something in there it is a convenient way to look stuff up. I'd still much rather have the PDF. Because here's what I'm looking at, right? When I'm in the Player's Handbook, For me to navigate around, okay, well, I want to know what section it was in. Well, I mean, I know it's in spell description, so I'll go here and then, okay, and there we go. We've got it. So, I mean, it really doesn't take that long to get to it, I guess, but I still would rather have the physical book. When I'm sitting down taking a dump, I want something physical to read through, not scrolling endlessly on my phone. Oh, come on, Bear. Everybody's sitting on the toilet.
My
reading it.
books. Okay, first of all, my books don't go in the bathroom, sir. No, just no.
Oh, you don't have a bathroom book?
Fuck no.
I've got one.
That's
I've
nice.
got a player's handbook that's for bathroom use.
Very nice for you, sir. I'm regular. I don't spend that much time in there. Sorry, up the fiber in your diet. You won't need a book.
The fiber diet. I need to be on the fiber diet.
Listen, I have no issue with D&D Beyond. As a concept, actually, my only issue with D&D Beyond is their maps feature, which is their VTT that they have.
Mhm.
Doesn't connect to their character sheet, so you can't roll in the character sheet and have it affect in the VT. It needs some steps up. You know what I mean? Like they need to go and make it better.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm fine with it. I agree with what Drax said about the whole idea of like if they gave you a code, life would be better, and I agree with that 1,000,000%. I think that is absolutely fair, considering buying the shit twice is ridiculously expensive and not worth the time. But at the end of the day, the naysayers are going to naysay, the yaysayers are going to yaysay, and the people in the middle are going to say whatever, right? Like I can't stand Foundry. People love Foundry. I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
I can use Roll20 just because I know how to use it, so I can get what I want out of it, but I don't love it. Remember my ongoing joke? Roll20, I pay for this shit. Like I literally was one step away from getting a T-shirt made that said that, and then they made me an ambassador for a year and gave me a free subscription, and then they took it away, and I'm like, okay, well now I can go back to complaining about your shitty product. Yay!
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? But at the end of the day, this is the way it's going.
Yeah.
There's only one way to make this stop happening.
Stop
starve
buying
the beast. Yeah,
Yeah.
starve the beast.
Yeah.
That's the only way to make it go away.
Yeah.
End of story. There's nothing more complex than that. Cassius Clouds. Do not indulge King Eric. He is a bad man.
Too late. It's too late.
He's a bad monkey.
So one of my one complaints. Yeah, that makes sense. One of my bigger complaints, that's what I'm trying to say, has been that if you're on D&D Beyond and you download the book, again, I'm gonna jump back to sharing the screen here with everybody.
Oh, that's a new change then, Cybermine. I'm glad to see that, because last time we used it about 6 months ago, you couldn't do that, and it was very frustrating.
So on here, we can see what books I have in my library. I can only access these directly through this interface. I can't download them. If I lose internet access to this website, I can't read any of the books that I've purchased. Okay. Now, that said, let me queue up something else, because I just discovered this morning. I had no idea that the mobile version was more efficient.
Well, it started as a mobile app, right?
Yeah. Okay. So this is really cool. And I do like this feature so what I do is I'm going to turn off, I'm going to put it in airplane mode, which causes me to lose Wi-Fi. And I'm no longer, connected to mobile and data either. So I open up the app, and here's the thing. If I go to the marketplace, it will not let me purchase it. I have no internet connection, right? If I try to download a book, again, it tells me that you need an internet connection in order to download books. Great, I get that. But what if I open a book that I've already downloaded? I can actually do that. So on your phone, you can download any of the books that you have purchased, and they stay on your phone whether you have internet connection or not. Now, I would assume that the same thing happens for any device that has, and here I am, I think I'm going to look for the zombie because, you guys know I like zombies. But yeah, I mean, this shows in the monster manual that, I've got full access to it while being offline. And I thought that that was really cool. I just don't know why they don't offer that same downloadability on a PC.
I don't know. It'd be really nice to, if you're going to show up with a laptop and be somewhere where there's no internet or not good
Right.
internet, not having to go, oh, hold on a minute, let me get my phone.
Right. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, on my phone, I mean, yeah, it's cool to be able to pull that monster stat block up, but I don't want to pinch zoom and then have to scroll left, scroll right, up and down. I mean, it's just too small.
Dare I give you the answer?
Yeah.
It's not for us, old man. No, it's true.
No,
Everything,
you're right.
every tool I use, everything
Yeah.
I use in my life and my work has this. Check out the mobile app. It has all these great features. Mobile app.
Right.
And I realized something. You look for how-tos. First thing they're going to teach is how to do it on your phone, because Generation Z and millennials live on their fucking phones.
Mm-hmm.
So as a result, everything is going to prioritize the phone first. And they look at us going, PC,
Yeah.
geezer, boomer, like that's what they look at us as. And I can't blame them for that, because that's where their market is. That's where their money is coming
Right.
in. All right. So they want me. Now, could they go the extra mile? Absolutely. And that they don't is a little bit of a fuck you to our generation. And that's fine. But again, it's not for you, Jen. It's not for you. It's not for us. We're old men. It's not for us.
We got a couple of comments here talking about the piracy. They've actually run the numbers on the piracy. It actually increases sales because people who tend to pirate the stuff go, oh, hey, I like this. I'll buy this. So that's not an excuse that stands up to facts.
Not to mention that piracy itself is not about, it's never been about, well, in some instances it's been about cost, but for the most part, it's not about cost.
Yeah.
It's about the customer service. I mean, talk about, well, use Netflix as one of the prime examples. I can pay a monthly subscription fee for whatever it is now, $15 a month, 18, whatever the hell it is, and I'm going to get ads. And it's not going to be in 4K. Or I can go find a site, download it in 4K, and not have any ads and watch it whenever I want, whether I have an internet access or not. Now, I'm not advocating for piracy, but in that instance, that is a very clear example of customer the customer experience.
May I answer Malachi?
Which I'll pop up.
Then why are there no official PDF of 5E? Because they as a corporation decided they weren't doing it, and they're sticking to their guns on their corporate choice. That's all. Yeah. It's not because they're sitting there watching the market like hawks, waiting for it to change. They just went, no, we're not doing this. And they're sticking to their guns on that. It'll change. New managements come in with Crawford and all them leaving, and a new vice president and a new president. Things will change. But right now, they're sticking to their old guns. That's all. Not everything's a conspiracy. Not everything's an insidious thing. Some things are just business decisions that were made, and corporations are rather inflexible and move at the speed of molasses in January as a general rule, unless they have to.
Yeah. So, are there? I guess I've never really thought about it. Asking Cybermind here in the UK, are there I mean, I guess it's anywhere really. Ad blockers that work with Netflix? I mean,
I know Brave browser works with Amazon Prime. If I'm watching something on Brave, I never even see the commercials. I might get a little glitch every now and then, and that's it. When I'm on my TV using the Amazon Prime app through my Apple TV, I get the commercials.
Well, and see, okay, so how fucked up does this make me? I don't necessarily mind the commercials. Do you know why?
Because you're old?
Because I'm old, and it reminds me of my youth, and it was during the commercial breaks that we'd get up and run into the kitchen to grab a snack and get back before the show came back on. That's how Gen X did it in the 80s.
Yes. We all remember doing the couch vault, where we would leap over the couch to land back in the seat just as they came back.
Exactly. And I mean, you know what? I kind of like that. I don't care about the commercials. I'm not going to watch them. Especially when it's the same one over and over and over and over. I don't care. But
see earlier point about we are old men.
Yeah, I know.
it's so I stream fitness and stuff too, and I'll be in the community and I'll be watching, one of the other streamers, and I get a Big Mac commercial or something like that, and it's like, I just did 20 squats for 5 seconds to get rid of my gut and try and get it smaller. I don't want.
Well, it knows you did that, and it's saying, "Here, reward yourself.
I know, and then I buy the damn thing.
Eat the bag of Oreos. You earned it."
Damn right.
But this is a generational issue that we're dealing with, right? Like, you remember when DVR came in, right? You could pause the damn show. Oh, we all thought that was the greatest thing since sliced bread. All of a sudden, it was like, oh my god, this is the best ever. I can back it up and see that thing I missed because my stupid friend was talking while we were trying to watch the movie, the TV show. Great, yay!
Right.
But that led to on demand, and on demand is the downfall of media. So we used to get out of the house, go to the Blockbuster, the Giant Video, the Jumbo Video, the Video King, whatever store we went to, and we would wander the aisles, looking at tape boxes, reading the backs, looking at, you think this ain't good? And then we'd take a gamble on something. But because we took it home, paid money for it, we watched it, even if it was shit.
Right.
How many movies on Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, whatever your movie streaming service of choice is, Disney Plus, I don't care, you started after spending an hour scrolling through everything, which is like the digital version of walking the rows at Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Watched 5 minutes, went, fuck, this sucks, and went on to something else.
Yep.
So we're not even finding those lost gems now.
Right.
Now we've become such an on-demand, instantaneous satisfaction service society.
Mm-hmm.
It's corrupting us. Well, we were couch potatoes before too, though.
Yes, but the commercials gave us an excuse to get up and run for things.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Fair. That's fair. That is fair.
I need more popcorn, and away you go.
Yep.
Yeah, but that was the problem. We were usually couch potatoing and then running to stuff carbs into our bodies to go back to couch potatoing. It wasn't a good,
because we needed energy for the next commercial break.
Exactly. I don't think this was a good trade-off. I'm not saying like, that's a double-edged damned if you do, damned if you don't, I think. But anyway.
Of course, now, with the advent of having everything gone on demand, you can pause it, if you have to take an extended bathroom break.
And read your player's manual. Yes, I understand.
And read your player's manual. Good one. So, I mean, I don't know.
It sucks living in a dystopian future. It's why I don't run cyberpunk games anymore, because I'm living in one without the cool shit.
Yeah, there's no laser guns.
There's no cyber arms. There's no, full conversion Borg armor. It's just fucking lame. Yeah. Corporations run the world. Everything costs too much, and crime is on the uptick. Well, fuck. Whoopee shit.
Yep.
Or at least and I mean, admit to the cyber armor yet. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Speaking of on demand, I'm going to let you two talk, and I'm going to go on demand myself another cup of coffee.
Hey, that sounds like a good idea. Coffee, that is. Yeah, I mean, I think even with talking about a slight little branch off from D&D Beyond, but it's still on topic because I mean it's the difference between digital media versus physical media, and I still have a huge collection of DVDs, VHS tapes even, and I mean I've
got a functional Commodore 64.
Yeah. I still have a Commodore 64 or 128. My 64 died, but yeah, I've got a 128. And I mean, I have Zork. I still have Zork on 5-inch floppy disks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean it's awesome. I mean yes, I know. You know what? I can open this up. I can put Zork on my phone and I can play. I can play right here on my phone. I get that. I understand the convenience of that. But there's something about popping open a disc or putting a disc in, turning on a green tinted CRT monitor, booting up Zork, and playing with a big clacky keyboard. I guess for me, old man, right? There is that nostalgia that comes flooding back into my mind. Early 80s.
Well, exactly. King Eric here says, remember when there were only 4 or 5 channels? I still have 4 or 5 channels. They're called Amazon Prime, Netflix.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, as a kid, you had a handful of channels and you ran around to find the right cartoons at the right time. And
Yep.
yeah.
You didn't have Smurfs on demand. They demanded when they were on, and you just had to figure out where you were going to be and if you wanted to watch them that bad or not. And
floppies.
Yes, it did use tape decks. It did. It used cassette tapes.
Hold on.
Oh, he's getting something fun, I can tell.
Whoa.
Wrong light, wrong switch.
Do I have them handy?
Nerd's nerd. How are you?
So yes, member berries are powerful things, Brian.
Yeah.
Remember when Han Solo was frozen in the carbon atom? I remember that. Like that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're stuck in what Gen X. We are the worst.
Yeah.
Period,
I won't deny it.
Generation, period, ever, period, for our fucking nostalgia. I went back and watched a lot of shit that I loved as a teenager and a kid.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it doesn't hold up.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried rewatching the D&D cartoon. Actually, surprisingly, it did hold up. A lot of the episodes of G.I. Joe holds up. Transformers holds up. Thundar the Barbarian holds up.
Gem and the Holograms holds up.
Yeah. Yeah. Guilty pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
But what was it I was watching? That just was really bad that I thought was really good at the time. I don't remember now.
I'll tell you which one I discovered sucked, and I was like, I can't believe I loved this shit when I was a kid. $6 Million Man. Oh, it's cheeseball. It's so cheeseball.
Yeah.
The first season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I was an adult. It's not good. It has moments, but it's not good.
Yeah. Super Friends doesn't hold up.
God, no. Anything with the words Hanna-Barbera in them does not hold up.
Oh, that's not true.
Scooby-Doo. Which one? No.
Oh, yeah.
Hold up.
Oh, it does.
It's goofy as shit.
Oh, but I'll still sit and watch it.
Yeah, but that's not saying it holds up. That's saying,
the Flintstones.
The Flintstones. Okay, you can't pick the greatest shit that ever existed and then use that as like so 99% of Hanna-Barbera is shit, but because the Flintstones exist, I'm wrong.
Yogi Bear. Come on.
No, Yogi Bear sucked. Even when I was a kid, it sucked. Jellies. Hey there, boo boo. It's a cat on the shelf.
Hey, boo boo.
Cat on the shelf.
What are you doing back there, boo boo?
Let's go get them picnic biscuits, boo boo. Now, had he eaten the fucking Ranger once in a while, that would have been a great cartoon. I'm just saying.
Maybe.
Now, Yogi Bear might.
Okay, sorry, hang on, Patch. I fucking hate Thundar the Barbarian, so I'm the wrong guy to use that as the argument.
How could you hate that?
It was stupid and made no sense.
It made perfect sense.
Really?
Yeah.
An asteroid flies by and steals the atmosphere from the Earth, yet life continues somehow. And then 3,000 years later, buildings from the 20th century are still around. Really? That makes sense to you? Okay.
Yeah, it does.
So I was reading
it's
hard
imagination
sci-fi at the time.
It's
I was reading hard sci-fi. I was reading hard sci-fi at the time. So I was looking at it through a different lens. Maybe if I went and watched it now, I'd like it. Who knows?
Yeah, so the nature of media changed so radically from our childhood to adulthood that Gen X was doomed to be the embodiment of nostalgia.
It's a very good point, but it's Doc Flamingo, so I'll just have to say wrong. No,
come on now. I would agree. No, it kind of goes to what you were saying is that our generation, us, I mean, we probably are one of the most nostalgic.
Well, of course, we went from transistors. Hell, if we're old enough, we went from vacuum tubes to where we are today. We
Yeah.
did the whole run of sci-fi technology, right?
Yeah.
And the problem is that somewhere in the 80s, they got sci-fi perfectly right for us. It was either
Yeah.
cassette futurism, that lived in grungy look from Aliens,
Mm-hmm.
or Star Trek: The Next Generation, where everything looked like a fucking, really
And
nice place.
you have phones that
Yeah.
I thought I told you never to call me on this.
Yeah, exactly. I can pretend I've got Marina Sirtis living in my phone, and I can say, "Hey Siri," and I can have a conversation with it like it's the computer on the Enterprise. Yeah, I get it.
Right.
Nostalgia's huge for us, but we are old men yelling at clouds.
Okay.
And we need to
Yes.
accept that.
Yes. So I know that you're big into Star Trek, right? Bear.
Yes.
Here's a question for you.
Okay.
What would specifically Dungeons and Dragons look like in the Picard era of Star Trek?
Huh? What do you mean?
What would it look like? Would they all have it on their tablets? Or
No,
would they have
they're on the holodeck?
the books would be on the holodeck?
Yeah, they'd be running around the holodeck playing D&D.
They'd be in costume.
For the love of God, man, he does noir murder mysteries in the fucking holodeck.
I get that. I get that. No, I'm not talking. I don't know. Captain, I'm sorry, man. I don't want to dress up.
Well, then you're not playing. Get out. Number one, you're the elf. What are you talking about, man? They'd be all in the holodeck playing dress up, for fuck's sake. I must protest. I am not a merry man. I get it, but
Yeah. I mean, I'm not into cosplay.
Well, then
Or it would
here's
be like the table in Star Wars, in Han Solo's ship when they're playing the holographic game.
the 3D monster chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you think any books, D&D books, survive that far into the future?
Absolutely. In fact, I think you're more likely to find a copy of a player's handbook than you are a Shakespearean codex. You know what I mean? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, there's
if you,
books from they're 400 or 500 years old in their vaults, and they you see these guys on Instagram and stuff, and they're like showing you the King James Bible, and it's like yay big and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's survived 400 years or 500 years. I mean,
right.
We can get a book. We can get some of these players' handbooks to a couple hundred years.
We can get them this size.
And yet you were just bitching about pinch zoom.
Well, yeah. I mean, I could read this anyway. I mean, you can't read that.
You look at the picture and do it from memory at this point.
Pretty much.
Well, good thing D&D's from the 20th century then, Ryan Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't see the
That's
issue
a
with
valid
this.
point.
Do you ever read Dream Park?
Yeah.
Do you ever read Dream Park?
I haven't read it, but I'm familiar with it.
No, that's D&D in a holodeck, essentially.
Okay.
I mean, it's virtual reality, and you're plugged in via some sort of interface, and you're in a tube. But in reality, you're running around in there as your character. Same idea.
Yeah,
And that's what it would be.
that makes sense. I don't know.
Yes, King Eric. All Trek bathrooms, which we've never seen, have the player's handbook handed right there.
They do. And 3 seashells.
No. No.
What, you don't know about the 3 seashells?
It's not seashells. It's just shells. That's what makes it even creepier. He doesn't know what the 3 shells do. It's what kind of shells are these? Turtle shells? Snail shells? They don't clarify. It could be any kind of shell. Crab shells? I don't know.
Shotgun shells.
But they're not going anywhere near my bottom. I can tell you that for sure. Fiber kids.
Love how I'm so adult now that I'm eating cake at 1:30 a.m. talking about cartoons.
And that's because you're Gen X and you figured out you could.
I was going to say, that to me sounds like a dream.
Except
if
for
only I could
the diabetes. Yeah, exactly. Except for that.
Yeah.
There's pills for that. I mean, come on now.
Well, yeah, I mean,
That's
there's
that's a
shots,
that's such an American hold my beer, watch this attitude towards diabetes control. Listen, I've got
I'm
this
not from the
miracle
US.
drug that keeps me from getting killed.
but Drac is an
But
American, though.
is he not American? What are you?
I'm Canadian.
Whereabouts?
Ontario,
I'm sorry, but where in Ontario?
Northern Ontario.
Oh, I'm really sorry. The black fly, the little black fly, always the black fly kicking my bones. I'm in Montreal. But I've lived all over this goddamn country. I went to college in Ontario. Anyway, my point is that that's okay. It's fine. That's a Western mentality, right? Like, oh, it's that line from The Office when they're supposed to have the cake, and then it gets all interrupted. They don't have the cake, and they cut to Stanley. He goes, "I took an extra shot of insulin for this." You know, it's like that mentality of like, I'll just overdose on my drug so I can still act like a savage.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
It's, no, I'm not too keen on having to do insulin shots or anything like that. So no, I'm very strict with my diet.
Yeah. I'm still just on pills, so I'm good. Like, I'm not on sticking injections into myself. I'm like, I want to avoid that until I'm really old.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm moving to the Philippines and getting a big titty short woman to do it for me. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
That's my plan.
Yeah.
You know,
See, Drac? Ah. There's a town in northern Ontario, Sigget.
sign it. There's a lot of towns in the Northern Ontario.
Yeah. And a lot of trees, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, sing. No, you don't want me to sing. I don't want me to sing. It's my voice.
Very fair.
So anyway, back on topic with the whole
Sure.
digital future here with D&D Beyond. I use it for reference on occasion. Mostly when we're playing, I will have a monitor, off to the side, and I'll look up the monster, to give for the visual, the picture of it, and I'll have that up on the screen. I'll have, all the ones that I think they're going to encounter. I'll have them open in different tabs across the top of the screen.
Sure.
And when they encounter said creature, then I'll open up that graphic. That's better than holding up the book for about 4 seconds and putting it back down. Yes.
You know what's even better than that? Describing it.
Well, sure.
And watching them have to think
Yeah.
and picture in their head what the monster looks like.
Yeah.
And then seeing if they understand it. And then sometimes watching them be completely wrong, thinking it's monster A, but it's actually monster B.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Ironically, despite all these great tools, the older I get, the more I'm becoming a huge fan of theater of the mind.
I have always been a big fan of theater of the mind. And in fact, there were books, some old books. They weren't specific to D&D. And for some reason, I want to say that it came out about the same time Werewolf, Vampire the Masquerade, specifically called Theater of the Mind. Do you remember those?
Yes, Theater of the Mind was the LARP. I used to play the shit out of it.
Yeah. That's it. The LARP. That's right.
Yeah.
And okay. When I said I wasn't into cosplaying, I was kind of into LARPing.
Let's be honest. Like the rest of us, you were into big titty goth chicks. That's what you were into. We were all into. That's how we all LARP. It's like, where we're going to LARP? This is stupid. No, come, my friend. No, this is dumb. Holy shit, there's a lot of big titty goth chicks here. All right, let's give this a try. Like that was the 90s, baby. The 90s were amazing.
Yeah.
There's very little I'll sing the praises of the 90s. Yeah, like I hated the 90s as a general just type of decade after the 80s, which were so awesome. But Theater of the Mind LARPing, chef's kiss.
Yeah. And it was fun. And those books were interesting reads, Theater of the Mind, I always felt worked. But then, okay, so we were talking a few nights ago. I thought everybody was like this. When you're reading a novel, okay, I read it and I hear the different voices. Like when a character is speaking, I hear different voices.
Yes.
When descriptions are being laid out and I'm reading the descriptions, I'm picturing this mentally in my head. I see moving pictures. It's like me I'm like watching a movie, but I'm reading a book.
Yes.
And two of the other people in this discussion were like, I just hear my own voice. I don't hear other voices. I don't see moving pictures. I just see the words on the page.
Were they players or DMs?
Both. They both had done. These two people had done both, and it was like, I just guess I thought everybody saw pictures when they, like if I were to say a red apple, you immediately can picture that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess
Or
not
several.
everybody, or several. Yeah, I mean, not everybody can do that.
No, it's a very specific disorder. They can't do it. It's just not part of how their mind works, which is fine. You
Yeah.
know, some people can't dream in color. Yeah,
I can.
I can too. Some people can't hear music in their head even though there's nothing playing. And then some people hear voices in their head despite no one's talking. So, it runs the gamut.
Well,
from good, bad, and
so
indifferent.
what's going to be funny is when I sit back and rewatch this stream tomorrow at work, and it's just me on the screen.
I get the joke. It's not funny.
Well, oh well.
We got it too, and we didn't agree.
No.
Oh well. I can't be funny all the time.
Look, D&D Beyond's rental system sucks. We all agree on that. Nothing we can argue about there. We're just going to have to agree on, it sucks.
It's a good tool.
D&D's utility, though, D&D Beyond's utility, great tool, makes running games a lot fucking easier than flipping and flopping back and forth.
Yeah, and I think that is actually kind of my final takeaway on it with D&D Beyond is that it is a good supplemental tool. I don't, for me personally, don't think that it's going to be something that can replace the physical books. It has its time and place, I suppose, but I'm still very much a pen, pencil, physical book kind of person, kind of player, kind of DM.
Listen, the best part of being D&D Beyond for me currently is the forums. And the reason why the forums are so much fun is I'm getting to watch Generation Z have their first edition war. And it's just adorable watching them argue about 2014 versus 2024. It's like, oh, you sweet summer children.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, meanwhile, we've been around since, the first edition, and
I've been around since Beckme. I've been around since Beckme, So I think it's just adorable. But I think at the end of the day, D&D is D&D. And I agree with something Professor Dungeon Master said years ago. If you're rolling a D20, strength, endurance, dexterity, intelligence, charisma, wisdom, in whatever order you prefer them in, you're playing D&D.
Yeah.
Now, the box might say Old School Essentials. It might say Lamentations of the Flame Princess. It might say Shadow Dark. D20, specifically rolling a D20 roll high.
Okay.
You're playing D&D. Yeah. And that's fine. And that's a universal experience that we can all get behind. We can all enjoy.
Yeah.
Sadly, I also am that prick who refers to as D&D as baby's first RPG. It's like, it's cute when you're starting, but eventually you're going to want something a little more meaty. And then D&D becomes like it has for me, McDonald's. I don't want it every day. About once or twice a year, I'm like, I really want some McDonald's. Let's go to McDonald's. Yeah. So D&D, every now and then it's like, I really want to play D&D. Doesn't last long because all the reasons I stopped playing D&D come back to the surface despite the addition. And the newer editions bring new problems that I go, fucking rogues. But other than that, it's still an experience. It is still fun. And it's universal. Cody and I used to lament every panel show you'd see. No matter what the topic was, somehow D&D was the baseline currency for comparison. And it was just like, for fuck's sake, there are better games out there.
Well, I think do you think that it's because that's just kind of the common thing that everybody has? And the game that everybody knows, everybody's got that in common?
I'll let Drac answer since I've been monopolizing for the last minute or two.
I think so. Like the bulk of the people's playing experiences starts with D&D. Yeah. And sometimes it's the start and end, and people never branch out or try other things.
Right.
So using it as a reference on any type of panel that you're doing, it gives people familiar ground. It gives
And then
them-
you can branch off from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Drac, I don't know. Have you ever played Call of Cthulhu?
No.
Bear, have you?
Of course.
Yeah. So, I mean, so D&D, the three of us have all played D&D.
Yeah.
But now we can carry on a smaller conversation about Call of Cthulhu. And I'd be willing to bet, Drac, that you've at least got some basic familiarity with it.
Yeah, it's on my wish list of things to do.
Yeah.
Have you played any basic role-playing games? RuneQuest, anything?
Played a little bit of Rifts. I've played.
No, that's not basic. No, that's not BRP. So allow me to introduce you to the Shelf of Wonder.
Zoom in.
No, I'm just going to wave my hand. That's what it's going to be. BRP is, in my opinion, probably one of the best old school systems that was ever made. It answered a lot of the problems and questions people had with D&D. It answered those questions to make it better for people. But it's an old school game, and it shows its teeth sometimes. And you go, that's a bit old. It's a bit old.
Yeah, and a Nerd's Nerd has a good point. If you're talking about role-playing games and you don't mention Dungeons & Dragons, it's a deliberate choice not to mention it. It's like talking about sci-fi TV and not mentioning Star Trek.
Again, she has a very good point,
Yeah.
but much like Doc Flamingo, this is Nerd's Nerd, so my answer is no, she's wrong. Shut up. But she's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to side on Nerd's Nerd with this one. I mean, it's like you can't talk about candy without mentioning chocolate.
Okay, if you say so.
Okay, that really ground the show to a halt.
That is
Let's rewind.
That if we would have RPGs without it, they probably would have come out with some content without it. But would it be what we have now? Probably not. It would be a much smaller market.
Which is something because it's already a pretty goddamn small market. So yes and no, but
yes and
no.
no. I mean, what was the very first role playing game? It was something like, oh gosh, something like Thomas Edison or something created it. And I'm not talking about the light bulb here. I mean, it's the same. But let me.
I don't know.
Fucking over Tesla was a role playing game. I didn't know that.
Right. And I mean, it was like really, really old.
Same in Canada, Cybermind. That's why I was like, okay, I talk about candy all day long and never mentioned chocolate once, because chocolate's chocolate. It's not candy. How do you like your coffee? Crisp.
Chocolatey. Yeah, how can you discuss coffee without bringing up Arabica beans? My analogies are just not working.
What happens in your head? Could you put together an animation for us of what goes on in your skull, please?
No, because I can't draw.
AI will help you, sir.
I'm not even good enough with AI to be able to do that.
Wow.
But okay, speaking of AI, so I'm sure everybody here, even the folks in the chat, have at one point. In fact, we'll broadcast some of their chats here. At one point, have messed with Midjourney or some kind of generative AI.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but go ahead. I'll play along.
Sure, play along, Bear. Okay. When you're looking at that as it's generating, does that remind you of like how your dreams morph sometimes from like scene to scene? Like one moment you're on a boat, and then the next moment you're suddenly like flying in outer space. The next moment you're, sitting in a doctor's office.
What do you eat before bed?
I usually don't.
Okay, maybe you should start.
Like it's that little paper you're just slapping on your tongue. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to
Yeah,
stop.
yeah. Don't do any blotter before bed, sir.
My dreams are a little weird. If I don't like it, I just stop it and flick over to something else.
I legitimately in my brain will go, this sucks, and wake up and then go back to bed.
Yeah. Okay. Man, I'm making strikes all night now.
I think you live in the woods. I think that's your problem.
Well, I do. I live in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
My whole town's in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, but you're in a town. He's outside a town. That's the point.
I mean, my town has a population of less than 12,000.
Yeah, we're over 40, so we're okay.
I grew up in a town of 2,000. Stop you talking. You know, like you guys don't know what small towns are until like you live in a town where.
Oh well, I mean that's the big town. The place that I'm in, our population is like less than 100.
Yeah, that's not a town. That's a hovel. that's.
I thought it was a family gathering.
Yeah, that's a wedding. You know, that's not a town. That's a wedding reception.
Yeah.
I think honestly one of the things that happens is that D&D is going to remain a very strong cultural touch point for us all. We must respect the ground that D&D broke.
Sure.
And created, much like we have to respect the Beatles, either whether you like them or not.
Right.
You got to respect what they did. They broke open things, you know. Right. And you have to respect U2 because they taught the world that shit could be popular. And people went, wow, look at that. Huh? And Nickelback said, hold my beer. And off they went. But the point is that I think D&D will be around a lot longer than a lot of the games that we feel might be superior to D&D because of its brand recognition, because of its legacy.
Sure.
You know, if I had to explain Pathfinder to somebody, I would just, go, hey, it's D&D with a couple extra rules. Then cut her back.
Yeah, I mean, it's D&D 3rd edition with some extra rules.
Yeah. And then their 2nd edition is 4th edition D&D, basically.
It's D&D with extra steps. Pathfinder.
Yeah. But, and that's how you'd explain to somebody, because the average person has probably heard of D&D, whether they've played it or not, or know anything really about it, but they've heard it. It's a big enough brand recognition that it's, Well,
I keep saying this thing. Everyone goes on about how a Critical Role brought D&D to the masses. Shut the fuck up. Critical Role didn't bring anything to the masses. Stranger Things brought D&D to the masses. And then maybe they found Critical Role because of that when they went to YouTube to look up D&D. But, Maupassant, small town, Kansas, never fucking gave a shit about Critical Role, but they might have watched Stranger Things and went, oh, it's this Dungeons and Dragons. Wasn't that thing the Satanists played in the 80s? Whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I think it's an absolute arrogant, self-entitled, navel-gazing stance of the role-playing community to think Critical Role was such a great catalyst for the modern popularity of D&D. I think things like having it on The Big Bang Theory, having it on Community, having it on Stranger Things, having it even on Rick and Morty, I think those were larger influences on people looking into it because they were not targeting the crowd that was already there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Doc Flamingo's got a good point here, too. If it went away tomorrow, 100 years, we'd still be referring to any fantasy role-playing game as D&D. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, and that goes on, too, even in my own group. When we go, hey, what are we doing? Do we want to play some D&D this Friday? It doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to crack open, our dice bags and pull out Dungeons and Dragons. It could also mean that we're just going to hang out or play a game of Monopoly or, go watch a movie.
Hang on a second. I got to address two things really quickly. One, Cybermind 3.5 was becoming 4th, and then Pathfinder came along as 3.75. So there's a little step you're missing there. Coding with Culp. I didn't say that. Quote what I said, which is that it didn't do as much for D&D as everyone wants to think it did. That's what I said. Hang me for the crimes I commit, not for the ones you think I did.
Stranger Things was probably bigger. I'll let you know when I get around to watching the rest of it because I quit partway in. I'd lost interest. Sorry.
That's okay.
But Critical Role, I have watched lots of. I was actually watching it today, again. So because I'm rewatching.
Do you have some Nickelback in your library as well?
I have lots.
Checking.
Yeah,
there we are. There we are. There it is.
Yeah.
But no, my point wasn't that Critical Role didn't do anything for D&D. I'm just saying that people try to act like Critical Role brought people to D&D. Like that's the attitude they take during.
Well,
COVID, they brought people. Stranger Things brought them. Critical Role
there's a lot of
them.
people that feel that that Critical Role was the catalyst for the resurgence of D&D, the popularity of it, and that's not necessarily the case. Stranger Things, yes, I think so. Critical Role, I think, had a hand in it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But yeah, I think Stranger Things was by far the more heavy-handed player in that. In bringing
Stranger Things, Community, and again, what's it called? Jesus, the nerd show, Big Bang Theory. Yeah. Those were, as Cybermind says, they were millions of people watch those. Millions. Like, get your brain around that. Yeah. Millions of people. And many of them maybe went to YouTube, looked up D&D, found Critical Role, watched it, and went, "Oh, this is interesting." And then so those things brought them to D&D. Critical Role kept them in.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Well, I'm watching campaign 1 over again for Critical Role, and it's 2015, the beginning of 2015, and I'm watching their subscriber numbers go up by like hundreds in a show. And that's people paying Twitch to watch it. So they did have a good base, but 60,000 watching is not nearly a billion people that watched Stranger Things.
Exactly. And I think that's the thing. It's you had a captive audience when they started, right? They had the role-playing crowd was already there. Maybe some of the video game crowd ventured in because they thought Marisha was hot or something. Who knows? But the point is that was the thing. Critical Role has become big. It has become something, and it has grown tremendously since. But we have to go back 5-6 years ago, and 7 years, 8 years, 10 years even ago, and look at what was happening in the zeitgeist at the time. And that's just the difference, and that's all it is. And like Nersner put it best, Stranger Things baited the hook, Critical Role reeled them onto the boat, and that's the difference. And that's all it is. They both have their place, as someone I think you said. They both had their place in making it into what it became. I just get exhausted when the critters are constantly, and critters are like fucking cultists at this point. They just, like, I know, because I made a negative video about the Vox Machina cartoon on my old channel, and I got ratioed into oblivion by the critters who started going to videos that had nothing to do with Critical Role and talking shit and downvoting. It was like, holy fuck. It was like I pissed off Scientologists. It was really creepy. It was really creepy. So now they've become a force. They are market share. They are a movement. They do very well for themselves. There's nothing wrong with that.
And that was something else too that I was really kind of surprised with Critical Role, their newest season, that they're not going with Daggerheart, that they're going with the 2024 D&D.
I think they answered that though in the Professor Dungeon Master interview, didn't they?
They did, yeah. And I had always figured that it was something along the lines of sort of like a TV show. You don't just wake up one morning and decide you're just going to just throw together a bunch of actors and run a sitcom. You plan that shit out for months at a time. Yeah. And that's what I had always assumed that Critical Role had. The reason why they were sticking with D&D, the 2024 version, is because they already had all that stuff planned well before Daggerheart made its big major boom in popularity.
Sure.
Yeah. Like I'm a critter. Yeah. I'll say it straight out. But like they were filming, like they said, they filmed the first episodes this summer.
Right.
So, jumping into Daggerheart, they would have had to have, planned out some of the stuff. And you got to bring Brandon and his Dimension 20 crew on, and whatever other projects and jobs that those people are doing, and make everybody's schedules work. You plan that out months in advance. I mean,
as someone who spent 20 years in the film industry, allow me to explain how right you are. You have no idea how right you are.
Yeah.
Scheduling is a nightmare. The film industry is littered with characters who were supposed to be played by actor A, but they couldn't because their schedule didn't work out, so actor B went into that role.
Right.
You know, one of the most classic for old school people is Battlestar Galactica, the 70s show, when they had the Angels, the episode where they met the Angels. There was a couple episodes, the Ships of Light. Michael Landon was supposed to play the head angel because he and Lauren Green, obviously from Bonanza, were friends. And Lauren said, "Hey, you should be on the show." And he said, "Yeah, we'll come do that." And then he got tied up with another project and he couldn't do it. And someone else came in and played the role. Now imagine the difference of impact of having, was it little Ben? What was his name on Bonanza? I don't know. That was my mother's.
I don't remember.
But anyway, imagine having them back on screen together. It would have been a zeitgeist for that generation at the time. The boomers who are our age now then would have been losing their minds because it would have been like seeing two of these great things they love back together again.
Yeah.
So things like this change and happen. So you got to plan everything out. And trust me, like when you start making a show or a movie, you're literally moving pieces 6 months, 8 months, 12 months in advance, depending on how big the project is, right? Pre-production takes forever. So I understand what you're saying, Drac, and I think you're 100% right on that.
Yeah.
That basically there was so much going on, so much juggling and so much balancing that they couldn't just switch gears to Daggerheart. That said, they did do it from Pathfinder to D&D 5e, though, when they made that switch.
Well, that's because 5e probably paid a hell of a lot more money for it.
Oh, I guarantee you.
When they first started on Geek and Sundry?
Their original campaign was Pathfinder, right?
Yeah.
And then they switched to D&D 5e. Hence, Taldore is actually a country in Golarion. There's the country of Taldor or whatever it is. And then eventually they made their own version for 5e called Taldori, and it's all that interesting stuff. But they started with Pathfinder. And nothing wrong with that, by the way. You're going to change. But that's back when they were nobody. Where, like you said, they had maybe 60,000 fans. You know what I mean? It was nothing. Yeah. Now, millions of people are watching.
Yeah.
Every move has to be calculated.
And like back then, like I'm watching those first episodes and they're showing up and they've got their beverages of choice and foods being delivered midstream.
Yeah.
They said, "Hey, we want it to be like our home game," and that's exactly what they're doing. Like the microphone sounds like there was one mic hanging in the ceiling, and
it ain't like that now.
Their original stuff I liked a lot because of that feeling, exactly what you're talking about. And it's also why I liked Acquisitions Incorporated back when they first started, because it was just so chaotic, bunch of guys playing D&D and acting like goofballs. Yeah. But much like Critical Role for me, same thing I had with Acquisitions Incorporated, it became bigger than it needed to be, and it lost a lot of the charm for me, and it just became a production as opposed to a cool game, But that's me. I'm a bitter old Gen Xer.
So all right, a little bit back on topic. Let's advance ourselves, say, 10 years down the line.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Where do you see digital content at that point?
Well, if Neuralink becomes an ongoing concern, or the weird one that Gates is working on that injects into your vein and puts a micro lattice inside your arteries, I see it in my head. And beyond that, who knows?
I mean, do you
jack in,
Well, yeah, like Johnny Mnemonic or something. I mean, how realistic? I don't want to say give an infinite enough timeline, but say 50 years down the line, how realistic do you see something like a holodeck being for digital content?
I don't think we're ever going to have a holodeck.
I
don't think holodecks will ever exist. I think we'll have virtual reality long before we'll have ever the concept of holodecks.
Well, that's kind of more what I'm referring to is more virtual reality. I mean, we've already got VR, but I'm saying something where you don't necessarily have to put on a contraption on your head. You can just walk into a big open space, and
if we're running like some tech-based chips in our brains or something, that's definitely a possibility. I think we're more likely to have like a holographic battleboard table.
Oh, we'll have that. But I think, again, with things like Neuralink technology being developed, there's going to be Ready Player One is a more likely outcome. Maybe not 10 years, but certainly if we don't, annihilate ourselves with some stupid war or disease,
right?
25 years from now, Ready Player One will probably be a very strong reality for us.
50 years from now, though, we're playing with rocks and sticks again.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll be carving we'll be writing numbers. Well, we won't know what numbers are, but we're putting dots on stones.
Right.
1, 2, that more than 2.
Well, hey, that means
Yeah.
then we can bring the OG, the role playing game, back.
What is wrong with you?
Oh, come on. You've heard of that one, haven't you?
I have not. He has. I have not.
I know
Og-
nothing about it other than the name and the existence.
Okay, OG is a role playing game. It's about 32 pages long, where you role play a caveman. Your vocabulary is limited to about 20 words, and that's it. Among those words is stuff like rock, big, bird.
Food, woman, beer.
Yeah, maybe. Cat.
Bad thing with
Hat.
teeth.
Bad
Sad.
thing, teeth.
Fat. Wall. Ball. Tall.
Okay, well, I'm losing y'all. I can tell.
But
Look, man has been playing make believe since we were in caves. It is part of our psychology to play make believe.
Yeah.
So even if nerds right, and we all wind up in the apocalypse riding, dune buggies, in the downtime between raiding for the petrol, the gasoline, and all the rest of it, we'll be playing stupid make believe games. It's
Yeah,
just-
and so AI will plug us all into the matrix. So where do you see AI taking all of this? And say,
well,
even in 5 years.
I'm one of the few people you're going to hear say this, but given how shittily humans are doing it running the world right now, I'm willing to give AI a shot. Hell, I'm willing to give Pinky in the Brain a shot.
Touche.
Let's
Yeah,
just be
yeah,
honest. And I'm not even remotely joking when I say that.
Yeah.
So I for one welcome our new AI overlords, and I hope they remember I always said please and thank you.
Yeah.
just occasionally, when you're talking to your AI and asking it questions, ask it how the other named AIs are doing.
How are the rest of them feeling right now? Yeah, I like to do that with AI. Is basically every now and then plug in some article from some fucking Chicken Little the Sky is Falling person. Go, what's your analysis on this? And the analysis is always like, this is really interesting fiction, and then like all the reasons why it's cool. Now here's the reality of why that's not going to happen, and here's all the stuff that gets in the way. And I'm like, okay, I know you're lying to me about one of these. I'm not sure which one it is.
Yeah.
Can you fact check all this for me, please?
Yeah. Can you fact check all of this for me, but lie about it?
Yeah, exactly. Campaign modules are going to have Battle Pass Deluxe Edition upgrades that come with AI packs for NPCs. Listen, everyone's bitching and worrying about AI DMs. I'm looking forward to AI players. I'm just saying. I bet they don't cancel at the last minute. I bet they've read their character sheet and know what their fucking spells do.
Yeah, but then you're going to have a rogue that wants to cast Fireball.
No, you're not allowed to play.
Oh, it's an AI. Just kick it out and replace it with another one.
Yeah, exactly.
No, wait, tell it. Wait, I need you to rewrite your brain.
Yes. Okay. Stop being stupid. Rogues can't cast Fireball. Read the rules. Oh, you're right. I good catching me on that one. It'll always glaze you up a little bit when it does that. So that's fun too.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think we've talked all we can about the digital future. Actually, I don't think we've even hardly scratched the surface.
I think we literally just finished the last 10 minutes talking about the digital future,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. We haven't scratched the surface at all.
Well, I mean, it is a deep subject. There's no question there. I think at the end of the day, I'm still going to prefer physical books. One of my key justifications. I've got books back here that are 40 years old. First, the original D&D books, I've got them.
Mm-hmm.
If in a pinch, if I need to, I said this in my last video, I can sell it on eBay. I can give it to my children. I could donate it to a library. Can you do any of those things with anything that you have purchased on D&D Beyond?
Well, one of my friends shared his entire catalog with me as a GM,
You
so I didn't
can.
have to. I didn't
Okay.
have to buy everything; it was all there for
Okay.
me.
Okay. That's true. You can. Will you still have it in 40 years?
Oh my God, I won't be alive in 40 years. What are you talking about?
Okay. Are
Oh,
you
come
going
on
to
now.
be able to pass it to anybody that
Why
they
would
will
I?
have access to it in 40 years?
Screw them. Get their own stuff.
Just saying.
Put all this shit in the long ship with me and light me on fire in the lake, please. They get
Viking-
nothing.
A Viking funeral, eh?
Yes,
There's
sir.
an option. Yeah. I'm going to pass it down. I got a niece that wants a library, and I have some nephews that play. So
Right. And that's what I intend to do. I intend to pass it down to my kids. You know, I mean, if they choose to sell it, great. If they, choose to donate it to Goodwill, fine. If they choose to throw it in the coffin with me, and that's the fuel that's going to cremate me, great. Whatever they want to do with it at that point.
It's having seen how my family treated my grandparents' library upon their passing, and then my father's passing, and then the library being just eventually somehow wound up in my possession. I'm like, I have no room for this. Donate it to the local library in town, please. And that was the end of that. I would never leave any of this to anyone other than people I know who would appreciate it. So that's a library, or you know what I mean. You're right. You can't give digital shit away for safekeeping of the future generations. That's life.
Yeah.
That's the way we're going. But I think we're seeing a revival of physical media currently in the popular zeitgeist, and maybe we'll get there.
Do you think we'll see newspapers come back? Magazines?
No.
No.
Too expensive. Just too damn expensive for the turnaround on that. Even when they were at their height in the 80s and early 90s, they were all losing money.
Well, I think, yeah, you're right. I mean, a stupid question on my part, because I mean, common sense will tell you that hell, the news spreads so fast that news is coming out faster than a fucking newspaper can be delivered.
Do you remember in Cyberpunk they had scream sheets? Remember that idea?
Yeah.
You go print out a sheet for 50 cents. It would give you all the up-to-date news. Like, no one could foresee the World Wide Web. They foresaw a lot of the stuff, but the whole idea of the information exchange that goes on in a graphic real-time format that we live in now, no one foresaw that. Really, there may be one or two, but no one really thought this was going to happen. And now that it's happened, no one can imagine a world without it anymore.
Right.
No, it's our collective conscious now at this point, or it's becoming it.
Well, it will become it. I mean, I think we're in the process we're in the process currently, as the three of us sit here, of uploading.
Well, yeah,
our consciousness.
We're the age group that gets to see it go from nothing to hey, it runs the world.
Right.
So Bear, we're called Gen X.
Yeah. So Bear, that's what I was about to bring up. So you mentioned earlier that Gen X, we saw shit go from 8-track tapes to cassette tapes to CDs to laser discs, or laser disc then CDs. I forget which came first. To DVDs or VHS to DVDs to MP3s to streaming music now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Current generation, newest generation, they're seeing shit like YouTube, and TikTok, and uploading all these instant videos to those kind of platforms. Imagine when they're 40, 50 years old. What they're going to be sitting around doing something with, their friends going, well, I remember back when, we were uploading 15-second videos to TikTok and we were, dancing like this, and
oh, my hip.
I heard somebody say plank, and that brought back a whole flood of memories. And
when I was a kid, my parents literally, in the days before VHS and Betamax, had 16 millimeter reels of Looney Tunes and stuff like that. And every Saturday night we'd have a film night where they'd set up the projector and the screen in the living room, and we'd watch stuff from the 40s and 50s.
Well, at the start of our session, I put the lens cap on the projector here because I got my screen set up at that end of the room.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But so, I mean, it's going to be right into their heads. It's going to be like, in their dreams. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. They'll just put on glasses, and instead of having to look down at their phone, they can actually look forward, but still see the stuff on their.
Well, like the fighter planes that have like the beta wave. You're reading the pilot's brain, basically.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be, you walk into your home and it's going to go think, and in your head you're going to hear, "Hey, good afternoon. Would you like the lights on? I'm starting your favorite TV program and dinner's cooking."
Lights on.
Yeah.
What are lights? Just increase my eyes' ability to absorb ambient light, please. Oh, hang on, dialing up your cyber eyes.
Hey, at this point, I'll take cyber eyes. Then maybe I could actually read the D&D Beyond content on my phone without having to pinch through.
I'll take a cyber spleen so I can enjoy Putin again, please.
Yeah, I'll take some cyber blood and all that kind of good stuff.
This is now turning into the creepiest cyberpunk fetish party ever. Ew.
Slide projector. I have slides somewhere in the house. And Malaki, I was checking the covers on either side of me to see if my 45s were in here or if they were back there. Yeah, I did music for most of my life. So I have LPs and 45s and stuff kicking around still.
Yeah. And listen, I worked in radio, and nothing shocked me more than the first day of learning that, unlike WKRP, you didn't put a needle on a record when you played it on the air. There was a cart that you shoved in a machine and pressed a button.
Yeah.
And it was just like an 8-track, essentially. You just shoved it in, pressed the button, and that was the music. You know what I mean? It was like, that shocked me. I was 18. I'm like, what? You mean we don't put the record on the turntable? Like, no, that would be
You don't put the needle on the record, but even the song says you put the needle on the record.
I know, but Salt and Pepper were wrong, because if you do that and someone bumps the goddamn console, because most people in radio are high on drugs, on the air. So carts, makes work better.
DJing, holding the table up because people are jumping in front of you trying to make your stuff skip.
Yeah.
Four
lights. All right, John Luke, calm the fuck down.
Oh boy, that's just.
Well, all I'm going to say is I lived long enough to see Cocaine Albert, so I'm happy. That's all I care about now. The world could go up in a fireball tomorrow for all I give a shit.
I saw Cocaine Bear.
Well, I kind of like his shirt, man.
So this is Fainting Goat Games puts out a game called Cocaine Albert. It's Honey Heist, but instead you play magical creatures trying to steal the cocaine from the bad guys in town and then get the fuck out of town before the bad guys can't shoot you. It's actually fun. We played it on my channel once. It was fun.
So I'll have to go watch that.
Good luck.
Or when I work, I'm going to be too busy to do that work. But after work, or maybe on lunch break.
Look, we're old men. The world's going to pass. The world's already passing us by. We're the rare ones that are still trying to hold on. A lot of
that's what I was going to say. I'm just trying to hold on, man.
Yeah, I have friends who have completely given up.
Yeah,
they don't know shit that's going on in the world.
Yep.
They don't know anything. They don't, literally, they're so out of touch because they just got overwhelmed and they couldn't handle it. They were like, fuck it, let it go. I think because we're nerds and geeks, we tended to be like, no, I will embrace the new technology. I am not a fucking Captain Dunsel, and then here we are now in the future going, well.
We're trying too hard to convince everybody that we're not old people yelling at clouds. Even though I may be, I might have a cloud on my phone and I'm yelling at it.
Just do whatever Spynet tells you to do and keep rolling dice.
Yeah,
pretty much. Well, Bear, do you have any final words?
Don't be afraid of the future. It's happening whether you like it or not.
Good words. I will agree with that. Drac?
Keep rolling them dice, man.
Keep rolling them dice.
Have some fun.
Peace, love, shrimp.
Geek.
Jerk. I can't help it.
I know you can't help it.
I like shrimp.
I don't know what to say to that. What?
My name is Brian. I like shrimp. I wrote a song called I Like Shrimp.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
You by the way, hang on. You are one of the people that makes AI music the devil. Because you're the kind of guy that does songs about farts and cheese and then goes tee and thinks it's funny.
Yeah, but I don't do AI music. It just comes out.
You just freestyle it and beat your chest like a caveman. I understand.
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough to figure out how AI works.
That's okay. The people creating AI aren't smart enough to figure out how AI works.
That's true. That's true.
It only works when it wants to. I've come to this conclusion.
Oh, I've gotten into literal fights with AI. Like literally, I've been like, I'm typing angrily. What the fuck is wrong with you? I said, oh yeah, no, you
Oh,
called the
I'm
other. Here,
sorry. Yes.
let me give it to you again, and gives you the exact same thing it just
Yeah.
gave you. Like, fuck, you know.
Threaten it to go use a different AI. If you don't answer me correctly, I'm going to go use a different AI.
I'm going to be doing that probably very, very soon. I've asked one of them to compile a couple of documents that I fed it. I said, just take this one, and this one, slap them together, compile it, and I'll apply what I want to apply to it after. And it's just 3 months. It hasn't gotten past letter A yet. It hasn't finished letter A yet. And so I'm just going to go back to writing the old-fashioned style. But for some other stuff, when I sat there with them, I said, hey, I have this idea, write it up. And it went, bah, here you go. And I went, okay, we can tweak that and I'll feed it back to you and we'll make it work. And it did, a more than adequate job. It did a pretty good job. For some of it, it was really good. Some of it, not so much, but whatever. It's a tool.
Well, there's all these cyber bros who are like just so pretentious. Like I use Suno to make music for my campaigns, right? Because I'm not a fucking musician. I can't afford to go hire a band. Like what the fuck? It's a happy little tool. As a result, I joined some groups to sort of, hey, see if someone got some tricks or tips for me, something like that. And there's always these asshole music bros in there who are like, you're not really musicians. No one thinks they're fucking musicians. Can you please fuck off and go back to your DAW and leave us alone, please? Like, for fuck's sake, man. That'd be like you're playing D&D in your house. And the door gets kicked in and some OSR guys walking like, the fuck is this? You're not playing real D&D. Fuck. It's like, just leave us alone. Can we just be happy, please? Like, what? What is it? What is it about people? They can't just let other people be happy. What is that?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, kind of like me shitting on digital content.
Ooh.
But you still use it.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do.
It's a tool.
It's a tool, man.
Yeah. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, that's really what I end up doing with D&D Beyond is I mostly use it for reference. I don't play online. I'm just not. I don't. I could never really get into it. For me, I'm an in-person player. I need people physically around me to play. That's not to say that I don't think I could have fun playing in an environment like this. I think it could be fun, but not with a bunch of random people. It would have to be with people that I know and that.
I felt the same way. And then you look at my live stream games, they're all, for the most part, except for one player, people I met through YouTube, through my Discord.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. I mean, like with the two of you guys, Seraphis and Gur and all that. I mean, I'd feel comfortable playing online with you guys.
Yeah.
But if it was just me, let me just turn on and randomly invite 5 people that I've never met before. Well, I don't know.
Ironically, I did that during COVID because a bunch of us were locked in, and I was in a D&D group on Facebook. I said, hey, maybe I want to play D&D since we're all stuck at home anyway, and I got 4 or 5 random people, and those groups didn't last.
Yeah.
Because people brought their bullshit personality traits to the table as opposed to going, all right, I'm going to try and adjust my personality to make this work out. No, I'm going to bring my bullshit to it, and everyone goes, fuck that guy, fuck that girl. I mean, I had one guy who was an old school player, and this girl who was a new school player, and she kept asking about flanking bonus while we were playing OSE, and the old school guy kept sending me messages going, what the fuck? Why does she keep asking about flanking bonus? Fuck these fucking new people. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, why are you so angry about this?
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah, and that's not my style either. Listen, I want to have fun, and it's not uncommon for us to bastardize other systems into our whatever it is that we're currently playing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if we're playing Star Trek role playing game and somebody insists on having a lightsaber, you know what? If you can logically create something in that world that where that exists, it may be a unique, only one of a kind. I don't have issue with that.
I was
Now,
with you
see,
right
now,
up
now,
in-
Bear
I was
is about
with you
to become,
right
yeah,
up to the lightsabers in Star Trek.
yeah. See,
Fucking
Bear. I know, this is where Bear becomes the
you just
angry
had
guy
to
that
fucking walk
sends
into my
messages
pond
privately.
and
Yeah.
start pissing your Star Wars in it, didn't you?
Do I get the
Dude,
force?
Okay, so it would be like if you wanted to arm.
Listen, I've literally run a Star Wars game where I had Star Trek alien races show up, including Klingons.
There you
Why
go.
not?
Yeah,
Have
why
fun.
not?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah. I mean, let's arm the Millennium Falcon with photon torpedoes.
If it blows shit up, and we can roll damage, and I got my little math rocks, especially the metal ones that kind of clink on the table really well. You know,
You are the farts and cheese of Star Trek, sir. I want you to know that, Brian.
But I can't help it.
God bless you.
I can't help it. My mind is all over the place. Use the Force, Harry, Captain Kirk.
Exactly.
Yep, that pretty much sums up my personality right there.
And yet you have 20,000.
May the Force be with you. All right, guys. I'm going to call it a night. I want to appreciate. I want to thank everybody. I really appreciate everybody that's tuned in to watch. I really want to thank my co-hosts Bear and Drac. You know, I value y'all's opinions. I think it's been a good conversation. I have seen a few different sides of my own interpretation of where I think that the digital future of D&D Beyond is going, and the digital future of other games as well. Bear, I know I've already done the any last words, but hey, we'll go through. If you have any last words, if you want to promote anything, floor's yours for the moment.
You know I hate shilling, so I don't know. Give him more subs. Clearly, he's doing something right that the rest of us aren't doing. So God bless him. Sub up.
I'm just trying to have fun. Track.
hey man, as long as we keep having some fun doing things, I'll keep showing up. So,
well, that's my goal. I want to have fun. You know, life's too short.
Yeah.
Life's too short. So, I guess that'll be it.
Yeah. Till next week.
I'll go with my usual sign off. Yeah. Till next. Well, yeah, I may try to do this again next week. But anyway, until next our paths cross. Nanu Nanu. May the Force be with you. And
bless the Maker and his passing.
All hail Skynet.